Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, for any artist out there trying to make it, the booking agent, it can feel like this mythical gatekeeper, right? But are you actually ready for one? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and give you a serious reality check. So many artists see getting an agent as the moment, the golden ticket. It's this idea that once you're signed, boom, the big shows and massive tours just start rolling in. But is that really how it works? Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first. We have to tackle the biggest myth of them all when it comes to booking agents. This is the one that causes so much frustration for artists. And this right here, this perfectly shows that huge gap between the dream and the reality. So many artists hope an agent will build their entire career, but their actual job, it's laser focused. They sell your live show and they negotiate your fees. That's it, period. So, okay, if they're not career architects, then what do they actually do? Let's break down what their role really looks like day to day. Yeah, the best way to think about it is they're masters of this giant live music puzzle. Their whole world is logistics. It's calling venues, fighting to get you the best fee, and putting together tours that actually make geographic sense. And just as important is what's not on that to-do list, they don't build your audience from scratch. They don't fund your tour. They're not going to run your social media. No, they book the gig. Everything else, that's on you. This, right here, is probably the clearest way to think about it. A booking agent is basically a highly specialized salesperson. What's their product? Your live show. And this is so important, they work on commission only. So if you don't play, they don't get paid. Simple as that. And here's the magic number you always hear, 10%. That's pretty much the industry standard commission. For every single dollar a venue pays you, 10 cents goes straight to your agent. But how that's calculated, well, that's where things get really interesting. Okay, let's walk through the math here because this is crucial. A venue pays you, let's say, a $3,000 gross fee. Great, but the very first thing that happens is the agent's commission comes right off the top. So poof, $300 is gone. Then you pay for the van, the gas, food, all that stuff. And after all is said and done, your actual profit is $1,600. See the difference? The agent's cut is based on that big number up top, not what you actually take home. All right, so now that we know what they do, let's flip the script. To actually get an agent, you have to start thinking like one. So from their perspective, how do they decide if you're a good investment? This quote right here might be the single most important thing to understand in this entire explainer. Agents don't create demand. They monetize it. They absolutely cannot make people want to see you play. That's your job. What they can do is take the demand you've already built and turn it into bigger, better-paying shows. They're a monetizer, not a creator. So this is basically their scorecard. This is how they're judging you. And they're not just looking at your music, they're looking at your business. Can you prove you sell tickets? Is there real hard data showing you have a following in certain cities? And hey, are you reliable? Are you professional to work with? They're looking for a low-risk, high-reward investment. And this is the ammo you need to bring to the table. To make your case, you gotta have more than just good songs. You need proof. You need great live performance videos, attendance history, engagement metrics on your socials, basically hard data that proves you actually have an audience ready and waiting. Okay, so after all of that, the big question is still hanging there. Are you actually ready? How can you tell if you've crossed that line? The one between needing to build your own demand and being ready for someone else to come in and monetize it. All right, this is your moment of truth checklist. Be honest with yourself. Are promoters and venues already starting to contact you? Can you consistently sell tickets on your own, enough to at least break even or maybe even make a small profit? Is there clear, obvious, upward momentum on your streaming and social media? If you can honestly check these boxes, you're not just ready for an agent, you're actually in a position of power to get a good one. Okay, let's bring this all home. It really boils down to one core principle you have to remember for any successful artist-agent relationship. And here it is, the key takeaway. Agents scale what already exists. Think of them as a multiplier, not an addition sign. They take the audience you've already hustled to build and they scale it up. They can help you go from selling out a tiny club to a bigger one, but what they can't do is fill an empty room for you. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. Stop asking, how do I get an agent? Instead, ask yourself this: am I building something that an agent can actually scale? Am I building a live business that's so compelling with so much obvious potential that an agent would be crazy not to want a piece of it? You focus on that, and trust me, the rest will fall into place.